Liverpool, Arsenal, and Tottenham in fierce battle to sign Serie A star for £34 million. Urgent. Liverpool star fears his time at Anfield is over. Welcome, Reds fans. Check out the latest updates about the greatest club in the world. Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool are reportedly locked in a serious battle behind the scenes to sign French midfielder Khephren Thuram, according to Tutto Juve. After shining for Nice, Thuram moved to Juventus in the summer of 2024, a transfer that initially raised doubts among Italian fans. However, the 24-year-old midfielder quickly adapted to Italian football and became a key player in Juventus' system. His impressive performances earned him a call-up from Didier Deschamps to represent France at the 2026 World Cup, where he has already made 3 appearances for Les Bleus. Thuram's impact did not go unnoticed. In the 2024-25 season, he was included in Serie A's Team of the Season alongside notable names such as David De Gea, Scott McTominay, and Christian Pulisic, all former Premier League players. Currently under contract until June 2029, the midfielder made 51 appearances in his debut season for Juventus, scoring 5 goals and providing 8 assists across all competitions. In the current campaign, he has maintained his high level, scoring 4 goals in just 12 matches. His consistent performances have drawn the attention of major Premier League clubs, with Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool leading the race for his signature. The Tutto Juve report also highlights that Chelsea are closely monitoring the situation, potentially turning the contest into a 4-way battle among England's giants for Thuram's transfer in 2026. Despite the strong interest, Juventus consider the Frenchman untouchable, although this stance may simply be an attempt to raise his market value, currently estimated at around £34 million. The Italian club's board view him as one of the cornerstones of their project and are unlikely to sell unless a truly irresistible offer arrives. The numbers underline his importance. Last season, Thuram ranked among the best defensive midfielders in Serie A, averaging 1.7 tackles, 5.1 duels won, and 4.2 ball recoveries per game, showcasing his strength, tactical awareness, and impressive reading of play. If signed, Thuram would strengthen Arsenal's midfield for the long term, provide Tottenham with greater defensive stability and quick transitions, and serve as a natural successor to Wataru Endo at Liverpool, making his 2026 transfer one of the most highly contested in European football. Andy Robertson's contract with Liverpool also expires this summer, and unlike Ibrahima Konate, the Scottish left-back faces a delicate situation regarding his renewal. Since 2017, Robertson had been the undisputed starter on the left flank, playing a crucial role in Jurgen Klopp's era. However, this summer saw the rise of young Milos Kerkez, who has begun challenging for the starting spot. This shift has left Robertson uncertain about his future and hesitant to sign a new deal if it means being reduced to a backup role. According to Football Insider, Robertson has yet to decide whether he wants to stay at Liverpool, especially if it means sacrificing his starting position. Several European clubs are reportedly willing to offer him a guaranteed starting role, which adds pressure on the player to carefully consider his next career move. The prospect of being a first-choice player elsewhere may be more appealing than remaining at Anfield in a secondary role. Despite the uncertainty, Robertson still has a chance to reclaim his place in the starting 11. Kerkez is young and still adapting to English football, and the club's management is not rushing to make a final decision on the left-back position. Should Robertson regain his spot, it's highly likely he will extend his contract and continue as a key figure for the Reds. However, if the situation doesn't turn in his favor, it could mark the end of a significant chapter in his career, opening the door to a new challenge elsewhere in Europe. Liverpool's challenges this summer go beyond Robertson's situation. The club faces a critical period of contract negotiations, with several key players nearing the end of their deals. Last season, the renewal talks were dominated by stars like Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Virgil van Dijk. While 2 of them remained, Alexander-Arnold opted to leave, showing how contract decisions can directly shape the team's future. At present, Ibrahima Konate is another player whose future remains unresolved. Liverpool have been working for about a year to secure his extension, but Real Madrid's interest complicates the matter, as the Spanish giants are reportedly pushing to sign him. The uncertainty surrounding contracts like those of Konate and Robertson creates a complex scenario for Liverpool, which must balance sporting strategy, finances, and the maintenance of a competitive squad. The club's choices on renewals, the promotion of young players, and the retention of experienced leaders will be crucial in determining Liverpool's competitiveness both in the Premier League and Europe, and whether they will rely on new talents like Caracas or continue with seasoned figures like Robertson.
Having won the Premier League in his debut season, Arne Slot proved that he is far from an ordinary manager. However, after a string of disappointing performances and poor results, sections of the fan base are starting to wonder whether the Dutchman is truly capable of leading Liverpool through such demanding times. The question now is, does the club really have the courage or even the means to dismiss him? Before the defeat to Manchester United at Anfield, Liverpool had not lost 4 consecutive matches since the days of Brendan Rodgers. The last time something similar occurred was back in November 2014, when the Reds entered a sharp decline following the sale of Luis Suarez to Barcelona. Rodgers, who had come close to winning the title months earlier, suffered consecutive losses to Newcastle, Real Madrid, Chelsea, and Crystal Palace. He stayed in charge for 11 more months, but never managed to regain the trust of the fans or restore the team's form. Now, in 2025, many fear history may be repeating itself. After the latest setback against United, comparisons between Slot and Rodgers have begun to surface, reigniting the debate about how long the club should remain patient with its manager. Despite 4 consecutive defeats, Liverpool are unlikely to sack Arne Slot for now. The main problem isn't just the results, but the team's poor performances. In recent games, Liverpool have shown the same pattern, conceding early, reacting in the second half, and losing with a late goal. Even in the Champions League against Galatasaray, they struggled to convince. The team appears to lack identity and a clear tactical plan, looking talented but disorganized. Slot holds much of the responsibility for this. If the losing streak continues, pressure will increase from both fans and management, especially after the club's major investments last summer. However, if performances start to improve, even without immediate wins, Slot may still have a chance to recover and stabilize the team. Liverpool has long been known for standing by its managers. The fan base takes pride in giving them time and avoiding rash decisions. Yet, the circumstances now are different. The club's champion status and significant transfer spending have raised expectations. Ironically, Slot may end up becoming a victim of his own success. For now, there is no sense of panic at Anfield. The management still believes Arne Slot can restore the team's form. However, if there is no clear progress by Christmas, talks about a possible change could grow stronger. If Liverpool decide to make a managerial switch, the leading candidate is Andoni Iraola, the Spanish coach currently at Bournemouth and considered one of Europe's most promising managers. His good relationship with sporting director Richard Hughes puts him in a strong position. Iraola is known for his attacking and tactical style, which would suit Liverpool's current squad well. For now, Slot's job is safe, but the pressure is increasing with each game, especially if the team fails to respond in their upcoming Champions League clash against Frankfurt. The manager's future will depend on how quickly he can turn things around, both on and off the pitch. The responsibility now lies entirely in Arne Slot's hands. Thank you very much for watching until the end. See you next time!